Alright, so now that 2022 is finally behind us,
Smash the like button and subscribe.
Don't pay him any attention. He's just a desperate influencer. Here's what they're predicting will happen in 2023.
The three largest economies, the United States, China, and the Euro area, will continue to stall. In short, the worst is yet to come, and for many people, 2023 will feel like a recession.
Apparently, this recession is going to hit a third of the world this year, with most of the developed nations. Now, this is already on top of a horrible year for investors in 2022, because no matter where you invested money, chances are you didn't do so good. And even if you didn't invest the money, you still lost 7.1% thanks to inflation. But if you did invest, then you would have lost over 20% in the stock market, which is kind of crazy because when stocks go down, bonds are supposed to go up. But bonds have one kryptonite, and that's inflation, which is why bonds had the worst year on record in 2022, and they were down 15%. Real estate did okay, but now that interest rates are going up, it's that much more expensive to buy a home and get a mortgage, and the Fair Isaac Corporation, or FICO, which is the company that creates credit scores, is now going to charge us lenders 400% more to get our credit scores, which means the average home buyer is going to pay as much as 91% more to get their credit score starting in January of 2023. Now, investing in crypto was obviously the worst idea because Bitcoin is down over 47%, and now that the metaverse and NFT bubble has popped, the era of free printer money Papa Pal style is completely over. But saving money is still a huge priority. In fact, according to a Bank of America survey, 44% of Americans said that their New Year's resolution is to save more money. Personally, I have no idea what's going to happen in the markets this year. I've made a prediction video on what I think will happen, which will probably be wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't know. So rather than focusing on what I can't control, I've put together a plan on how to save money so that if another 2022 happens, we'd be more prepared. So with that said, I want to share with you that plan. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the How to Save Money Guide 2023 style. I actually wanted to get my teeth whitened, but decided to get a tan instead. So for anyone who says I have raccoon eyes, to them I say, excuse me. All right, so let's talk about how to save money, because apparently the Fed is on a quote collision course with investors. Now what that means is that Papa Pal has told us that he will not be doing the pivot, which remember is not the latest TikTok dance. It's whenever he lowers interest rates. He has told us he will not do that this year. And remember, interest rates are like the field of gravity that holds asset prices down. The higher the interest rates, the stronger this force of gravity is. There's not much we can do about it, but we can control how we save our money. So first, I mentioned credit scores because they're about to be insanely important this year in 2023 now that interest rates are going up. You don't want your loan to be overly expensive because you forgot to build your score. And one of the first few things I think anyone should do is to get a free report to figure out what their score actually is. Now, there are so many websites on the internet that claim to give you this information and to be affiliated with the government, but most of them are not, so please be careful. There's only one website that is allowed to show you that link, and that would be this one, consumer.ftc.gov. That's where you can find the link. Now, if you trust a YouTuber, you can skip the research and go directly to the website that will show you this, which is annualcreditreport.com. That is the only website that is federally commissioned and allowed to show you this information once every 12 months. However, through December 2023, if you live in the US, you can actually get one free credit report per week from each of the three credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So start building your score as early as possible and save money doing it, especially if you're trying to buy a house. Here is trick number 2 to start saving money really fast. Now, I'll be honest, when it comes to my own bank account, I keep most of my cash in a checking account, just sitting there unproductively collecting dust and making zero money, so shame on me. But I have a couple ideas to start finally making money from my checking account. And number 1 is to open up a high yield savings account, because the era of high yield savings accounts is finally back. Banks are paying anywhere between 3% to a juicy 4%. Now, I've made a whole video about the best savings accounts, but this information is constantly changing and updating, so just do a Google search and see which ones pop up that you like. But right now, people seem to really like CIT Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and Ally Bank. I'm not sponsored or paid by any of them to tell you this. The second way to make sure that your bank accounts are actually making money is to put them to use by buying a bond. Now, you you might have seen some scary headlines like 2022 was the worst year on record for bonds. Even if you go back 250 years, 2022 was the worst. So why on earth would anyone suggest buying a bond? You see, this is why I don't trust YouTubers. And it's a good idea. You shouldn't trust them, especially if they do magic tricks. But in all seriousness, bonds, if done the right way, cannot lose you money. And this is because all a bond is you lending money to someone else. That someone else, in my opinion, should almost always be the US government, because the US government has never defaulted on its loans. It has always paid that money back. And once you loan that money out, that bond pays you interest every 6 months or twice a year. Now, every single bond has its own maturity date, aka the amount of time you loan someone your money for. And once that bond reaches the full maturity date, you get to get all of your money back, aka the principal investment, plus all of the interest that you've made from it. The longer you loan your money out for, the higher the interest rate will be, but that's not always the case. Now, my favorite bond right now is the Series I bonds, which are tied to the measure of inflation, or the CPI. Last year, they were paying 9.6% interest, which is insane, so I put in the maximum allowed $10,000 into it, and now the money's sitting there and it's collecting interest. I made a step-by-step video on how you can buy it from the government website at treasurydirect.gov because it's not super simple or straightforward, but the cool part is that after 12 months, I get all of my initial principal value out plus the interest. And that's why I don't care what this bond is worth on the open market, because I'm not buying it to trade or sell ahead of time. Now, if I don't want to put away my money for 12 months at a time, there's a shorter term bond that is the 6-month treasury bond. And right now that is yielding a juicy 4.8%, which is still higher than 99% of any savings accounts that I've ever seen. So this is a great way that if you know you don't need all of this checking account cash, you can just put it away into this 6-month bond and now it's generating interest. So after 6 months, you get all the money back plus the interest. It's a win-win. Trick number 3 to start saving money really fast is to maximize your 401k employer contribution matches. This is a 100% return on investment. Now, if you're employed, you already know this trick. But if you're self-employed like me, you might not know that this is now something you can do yourself using Robinhood's new feature that is the 1% match that's now available to the public. Now, Robinhood is not paying me to tell you about this. They are not sponsoring my video. The way it works is you connect an external bank account and you put money inside of an IRA, an individual retirement account. Now, inside of this account, the money you put in, you can start investing into things like stocks, bonds, and ETFs. Cryptocurrencies do not count. You cannot buy cryptocurrencies inside of this account, and rolling over a previous IRA will not count towards getting the bonus. But here's how it works. If you can put away the full limit of $6,500 for the year 2023, that 1% will get you $65 for the year 2023. And that $65 will not count towards the contribution limit. So this is just the interest payment, so you don't have to worry about anything. However, there is a huge drawback. The drawback is that you have to wait 5 years to get your interest out. So for example, if you contribute $1,000 in the year 2023, that 1% means you'll get $10, but you won't be able to withdraw that $10 until 5 years later in the year 2028. And this applies to every single year you earn the bonus. So if you try again in 2024, you won't be able to get the bonus until the year 2029. If you try to withdraw the interest before that 5-year period, you'll have to pay some fees. Now, personally, I don't have this account and I'm not planning on getting it until Robinhood changes this 5-year rule. Now look, I understand why they have this rule, because they don't want people to pay $6,500, earn their $65 bonus, and then leave. But at the same time, it also feels like a horrible contract where you're earning $13 per year, and after 5 years, it seems like it's too little too late. Especially if after 5 years, I'm a loyal customer, chances are I'm still contributing to these accounts, and if I'm maxing it out, after 5 years, I will have put in over 30 grand into Robinhood, and it feels like it's too little to get $65 at that point. It's asking for too much. So Robinhood, pretty please, if you're watching this video, just change it to something more reasonable, like maybe you get the bonus after 1 year from the date of contribution. Then I'll consider it, but until then, I think it's asking for too much. Trick number 4 to save more money is to increase your income and lower your expenses. Now, lowering expenses is one of the most fun things to try. All you gotta do is shop around for the competition. So that means your internet, your phone bill, your insurances, just call around to see if the competition can offer you a better deal. Because even if they can't, the company that you're leaving will offer you some kind of an incentive just to stay. And it's a really fun practice to get into. Hey, I'm leaving, just to see them go, wait, don't go. Now, if you don't want to do this yourself because you don't have the energy or the time, another tool you can use is Rocket Money, which has actually been one of the sponsors for my channel, but they are not sponsoring this video and they're not paying me to talk about them, but I do love their products so much, they can actually negotiate for you and lower the bills, but the catch is that they do take a cut of what they save. Another great way to save money is to increase your income, which is why starting next week, I'm releasing my OnlyFans page and selling feet pictures. But don't worry, they're not actually feet pictures, they're NFTs. Nice feet things. In all seriousness though, having a couple side hustles is a great way to make some extra income, and if you're not sure which ones to get into, just use ChatGPT. Literally, you can ask it to give you 10 ideas and bam, it gives you a list. You can Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, you can offer your time on TaskRabbit, sell things on eBay, sell a kidney, doesn't matter, just pick one. 7 of diamonds. Don't become a magician, it's not gonna pay as well, unless you're David Copperfield. Then it might. Actually though, here's a great idea. You can reach out to your favorite content creators or YouTubers, and if they're an information or an education channel, you can offer them a weekly newsletter summary of all of their content every single week. Every creator wants to have a weekly newsletter because it gives them a chance to connect with their audience and build a subscription list. And all you have to do is get their scripts, paste it into ChatGPT, reword it, put it on a website, on a blog, or a newsletter, and bam, you just created a side hustle income doing the things you do anyway, which is watching your favorite YouTube videos. Pretty cool. Now, step 5, for extra credit to save money really fast, you can actually start paying down your debt because that's a 100% return on investment. Also, take advantage of those credit card points and rewards, get yourself the best cashback credit cards, and also maybe get yourself an HSA, a triple tax advantaged account, which is arguably even better than an IRA. As always though, have a wonderful rest of your day, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. Love you, see you soon, bye-bye.